G'day fellas and welcome to A Casted Game, spawning in over on the west side of the map. You've known him as teal, as red, as yellow, and now you can know him as purple, as big brain, or as I recently found out, Louis MT. That's right, yes, this Chinese player, currently ranked, I think it's rank 3 on the ladder, has been smurfing it up a little bit with his big brain and even bigger attitude. I'm loving the stuff that we've seen out of him so far, and I'm curious to see what we have today in store. Now over on the other side of the map, playing in the color red as the Chinese, representing the Istanbul Wildcats, it's Casper. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dry Arabia. We're here on the brand new patch, witnessing the meta continue to evolve, and the question is, what direction does it go? I suspect it won't be in a trade direction. Chinese don't really have a lot of access to trade. I mean, they got the same access everybody else does, it's just they got no real bonuses for it. Actually, does the Yuan dynasty buff the speed of traders? Maybe that's a play. Maybe Chinese trade is legit. Who knows? But over on the other side, the French, well, they got a whole suite of upgrades that they can potentially look at pulling through. Of course, the Chamber of Commerce, you guys will be familiar with. Bit of a meme landmark, but don't let your memes be dreams. And I don't think Louis is going to let his memes be dreams today, because his memes are probably going to be orientated more around cavalry, specifically the school of it. But we move forward, we continue. Dry Arabia, obviously a very open map. I expect to see lots of walls out of Casper. It's been quite a while since I've actually seen him play the Chinese, so I'm curious what kind of build order he goes for. It looks like it's going to be an 8 and 3 opening. It could also be an 8 and 4 opening, depending on how heavy he wants to go on that Song Dynasty. But this is a tough matchup, right? French versus China. I used to consider it the hardest matchup. Probably not the hardest matchup, but probably the second hardest matchup. Holy Roman Empire versus China is always a really difficult matchup, in my opinion. English is it's hard, right? Because you don't win the late game over there. Whereas the French, it's kind of like all about the early game, right? The French player is always trying to build a lead and maintain that lead. And then, you know, eventually you will get to Imperial as the French in the late game. And you want to try and do that before your Chinese opponent does. And that's the kind of way that you win it in the late game. When it comes to sort of like facing off against your enemy in the late game, China typically do have the advantage. So it means that Casper wants to try and take this late. What makes this matchup so hard in the early game for the Chinese is one of their favorite units, the Chukunu, is not very effective in this matchup. And the reason why is because of the Knight. The Knight has got a base of 3 armor, and with +1 iron undermesh, it takes it up to 4. Chokunu's got a base of 4 damage, and with balanced projectiles, it takes it up to 5, which means that the break point for the Chukunu is only ever 1 point of damage, and that's the same in Castle Age. Once you get your veterancy upgrades, you're still going to only be doing 1 damage, because they're going to pick up +2, and they're also going to pick up an extra armor once they get their veterancy upgrade, and you're going to pick up an extra attack. They're going to pick up an extra, and you're also going to pick up your +2 as well, but you're still only doing 1 damage. So the Chukunu in this matchup, very tough unit to justify, that is for sure. So I'm curious what direction Casper goes, whether he knows that, and whether he looks to play a more common style that we do see against the French, which is going to be cavalry and spearmen. It's the most common style that we typically see against the French. But at the same time, maybe Casper's looking to shake things up. Let's take a look over on the west side of the map, as we've got Louis MT, who is now going to be edging up. Also a mill being dropped down with the wheelbarrow coming through, so no real surprises yet. This is a pretty standard opening here. We can actually see he's gone 5 on the landmark rather than 4, so he's going to be up extra quick. I don't think he's going to be able to get out the Knight on time. Let's see if he can do it. This is going to be a 4-minute age up. Damn, Louis. How you fitting them jeans, girl? That is impressive. You can see he's actually idling the TC here intentionally to get the Knight out. So that's the consequence of going for that extra villager on the landmark. You get up a little bit faster, but you do have an idle TC for a bit longer. So he's going to have to wait a bit longer for that villager to come out. But 4 vills over in gold. It's looking like a 1-base play from now. And the scout going to move out over onto the map. In fact, the scout's going to meet each other, give each other a little bit of a whistle. Let's ride on board with Casper and see what he's up to. As Casper's just going to be playing 1 base, in fact, no Song Dynasty. I'm not going to lie. I like this. This is one of the ways that I used to play this matchup. Because the theory is this, right? If France plays 1 base, okay, they're not investing 600 resources into another landmark. They're just investing 600 resources into new units, right? Like production and all that kind of stuff. So for you, it's tough, right? Because you're investing 600 resources and then you're making villages. So you kind of you haven't made a second town center, but you're still investing resources in your economy. But obviously, Casper, he is intent on getting up to that Song Dynasty eventually. It's going to take his time, but Louis coming in straight towards that gold mine. You can see he's actively retargeting the Royal Knight. Oh, poor villager timing there from Casper. First one, definitely going to be going down. You can see the charge damage comes through. It's going to be a one-shot. Well, technically a two-shot, but the spearmen are out. But a nice early opening here for Louis, picking up the villager kill. Really well done by him. Second knight now moving out, and do we dare see some villagers moving to stone? Not quite yet. In fact, 7 villagers on gold is a lot of villagers on gold. What is he thinking about doing with those villagers on gold? That for me is the question. Is he going to be dropping down a blacksmith over here? Oh, there we go. He is going to be taking the stone. So he's going to have to move villagers over to wood as well. We can see Casper already starting to wall up from the west side of his base. Spearman looking to try and block out this knight. Not going to find too much of a connection. But at the same time, towards the north, Louis looking for more villagers. He knows the wood lines here. Knight coming in. Beautiful APM coming out. And look at Casper. Straight away. Pulls those vills back. We do see that they jump inside the town center. A couple of arrows come out. Not a whole lot of damage. And Louis gets out pretty unscathed. Now, keep in mind, he's always got access to upgrades. Your big one, Chivalry. Going to help you out plenty here. It looks like he does go for a third knight and a fourth knight as well. So, really looking to get out a lot of... look at this. Beautiful play here by Louis. Drawing out the brace from the spearman. He could have actually taken out that spear. Opts not to do it. And rightly so. Casper would have got a couple of free hits there on his knight had he done it. So where does Casper go from here? Looks to start researching Wheelbarrow. Still just working on that one base. Now, one of the things I'd love to see from Casper is that stable and start taking the initiative against his opponent. But we do see him walling up, and in fact, he's walling up quite heavily here, which to me indicates that it might be a potential play here at a second town center. If that's the case, an interesting decision for him to do that, because obviously we know Louis is thinking the same thing. Spearman, though, going to be able to hold this on. You can see nice point-blank charge coming in, and Louis going to back out. He got a nice bit of damage in there. Low health knight going to be the one to run in here. He's trying to just cause a bit of idle time here. Not a whole lot of success. Casper just ignoring him. Up towards the north, we do see the wall almost completed. And now another wall coming in. It looks like he's attempting to have a few pets here. Spearman on the edge of the wood line. And it looks like Casper goes all the way to the edge. Doing a great job here. He's actually going to pick up... I reckon he might pick up every single one of these knights. And he's probably going to get the scout as well. Because we can see he's been completely walled in at this point. There's no way he's getting out. Casper locks him in. He says, all right, it's a duel. How long can you keep these knights moving around? And I'm sure if we take a look at Louis' perspective, he's going to... Well, we can't see his player cam right now, but I suspect he's probably got his... He's probably got his head in his hands at this point as he realizes that his days are quite literally numbered. Spearman, pretty effective against the knights. Now, I gotta say, I love this from Casper. When he initially put this wall down, I was thinking to myself, oh, I don't know about that, Casper. What a great use of the walls, right? Because otherwise, those knights just come out, and you know maybe they make it through to the front of the base, and eventually they get out. And maybe he loses one, maybe he loses two, but he still gets out. Here he doesn't get out, and now this is going to draw APM. Casper just right clicks him and follows him around. He's fine. So this is absolutely fine for Casper. Casper going to start making the onion layers, though. You can see the first layer up, second layer. Incomplete along that edge of the map. That could be very, very bad for Casper. But we do hear a ball being taken down in the second town center for Louis. First knight does go down. It's taking a while, but it'll be a while before they all go down. He's just trying to draw as much APM. They're trying to draw as much APM from each other. But look at this. Louis going absolutely big right now. It's 3 TCs going to be coming out for him. And yeah, you can see right here, he has a little bit of a lapse of attention, but Casper looking to try and get the surround on. Spearman moving in. He's got them all placed out beautifully. He tries to run through the middle, but the gauntlet's going to be tough. Spearman pokes and stabs and prods, and single knight remains. At this point, it's almost irrelevant. You can see the points that he's got all moved out there. Casper can just kind of leave it. Move a couple spearmen off in different directions. Get him to attack move. Maybe he'll pick one up. Maybe you won't. Now what does Casper see? That's going to be the question. Because he doesn't know, right? At this point, he doesn't know. His enemy could be making he could be making rams down here with 20 longbows. Or not longbows, but archers, right? Or he could be on 3 TCs. And we know he's on 3 TCs. It's going to be coming up slowly in the center of the map. Casper going to be looking to deny it. Spearman moving in underneath the town center. Hard to see because of the silhouettes, and it's going to be a cancel. So well played here by Casper getting the cancel. delaying that. And we do see the archery range going to get thrown down in response. Louis looking for a pretty big response here. Second TC for Casper. Coming in. Now remember, 3 TCs for a normal Civ is what you need to match 2 TC Song from China. The 3 TCs for France, it's actually better. In fact, it's much better. Let's take a look right now at a French villager. It takes 18 seconds to train. That's pretty good. That's pretty darn good. You're sitting on 3.3 town centers against the equivalent of, I think it works out to be like 3.07, something like that. A little bit of a mistake from Casper. Imperial official just chilling out, minding his own business. And now where is Casper at this point in time? Let's take a look and see with regard to his resources. 30 villagers on food. This is telling me he probably wants to go for a castle age here, but the lack of villagers on gold, is he rallying to gold at this point? Not even rallying to gold. So this could be that he wants to even play it out in feudal. He's still got 8 villagers here on wood. So he could be thinking, you know, we need lots of food because we're going spearmen, horsemen. But at the same time, he probably wants to put pressure, right? He knows about the first of the additional town centers. I don't think he knows about the second of the additional town centers. I think it's right here. Miles away, Drongo. Miles away. That's okay. Archer's coming out now. So we do see Louis looking to try and deal with a response here. He finds that Louis also thinking about heading up to Castle Age. Casper sitting on 468 gold. Quite a bit of gold saved up for him. And look at this, triple granary. Already going down in the back of the base. Casper going very big early. Normally, I was going to say, normally you see 1 granary and then farms around it. You don't normally see people just go for 3 granaries. Because the first granary can already start paying itself off. But if you do 3 granaries, I mean, you're going to need even more farms to start paying themselves off. So maybe if you're going at like if you're doing a transition at around like 20 minutes, it's fine. But interestingly, he just kind of gives that up. And I like the fact that he's reusing this space, okay? So earlier, he put these walls up and he's like, these walls, they're here to lock these pesky knights inside. But then you know what he does? He's like, well, actually, I'm also going to just double up with some farms. And he throws down triple granary. And now he throws down some farms. So already a nice little start here for Casper. Does the right thing. Okay, does the right thing. Perfect. Good job, Casper. So that one there, you gotta get rid of that one. That's okay. I mean, if he wants, he can just go like 1-1-1 and then just go all the way to the edge. I'd probably be leaving like a space of 2 in there. But we do see the astronomical clock tower rather. What did I say? I hope I didn't say the other thing. But anyway, clock tower gets cancelled. I think he was, okay, I think he was probably idle, maybe? Was that it? Oh, he switches it up. He goes Imperial Palace. This is the 3rd Chinese game in a row I've casted where they've gone Imperial Palace first. What is with this? What has happened? Somebody somewhere in the world said, hey, Imperial Palace is kind of good. You guys should start making it. And then every Chinese player actually started doing it. But why though? I mean, it's good, but it's not making nested bees with extra 50% health good. What was it? Did this landmark didn't get buffed when I wasn't looking, right? No, it still does exactly the same thing. Is it just, are people just playing a more patient play style of game? I don't know what it is. I don't know why it is, but we do see a Royal Institute now coming through for Louis. He's going to be following his opponent up towards the north side of the map. Oh my god, he's got a 4th town center. Jeez Louise, Louis right now channeling his inner Age of Empires 2 player. Look at him adding in the TCs like a madman. He is well and truly out-booming the Chinese player. Now remember, when he ages up to the castle age, his villagers once again reduce in the time that they take to train. And they're down to 17 seconds now. So now he's sitting on the equivalent of like 7.5, or rather 4.5 town centers, not 7.5, but 4.5 town centers against the Chinese, who are on 3. But it's still not a massive difference when you consider the fact that we've got a 12 villager gap at this point, right? Like, it's not super duper huge. But just remember, this is bugged. Okay, this is bugged in favor of the Chinese. It will always show you that China actually has a higher villager count than they do, because imperial officials, for whatever reason, count for 2. I didn't know that, but if we go Control-Shift-A right now, you'll see that he's got 67 villagers with 4 imperial officials. So 71, but it shows here as 76. So there you go. Watch out for that bug. Don't fall into the trap that China's only 15 villagers away. He's not. It's 19 villagers, and it's going to start getting bigger and stronger. And this is what I was talking about earlier, right? Like, when it comes to French versus China, in this matchup, the most important thing for France to do is get an early lead. And by getting an early lead, what that's going to enable them to do is transition into the late game and enable them to take control in the late game and secure out things like big golds. You know, get a nice keep down here. Maybe even put a keep to potentially challenge this one. And that's what you want to be doing as French. Trying to take map control. Not going to get denied. No chance of a relic. The veteran archer's moving out. 4th town center is down. Does he dare look for a 5th town center? I did see you had stone in the bank a little bit earlier. It doesn't look like it for the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just gotta be careful with my counting. Never want to make an assumption about Louis MT. Let's just say that much. But riding on board with Casper at the moment, we can see he's picking up those veterancy upgrades. Going into Spearman Horseman, a pretty decent combo here against the French. The other recommendation I would be making is make sure you get those Nest of Bees out. They're going to be really strong, but obviously in this position here, doesn't actually have the ability to make Nest of Bees outside of the Siege Workshop. So it could be a consideration. Imperial Palace, yeah, unfortunately not going to be alive for much longer, but we do see some pretty big upgrades coming in behind this for Louis. Looking to pick up Royal Bloodlines, looking to pick up Balance Project, or rather Iron Undermesh, and also taking away relics. So it's going to be 1 relic apiece for the moment. Spearman as well as Horseman numbers pretty solid here, but he needs to start supervising out these upgrades. There are no Blacksmith upgrades at the moment for Casper. Needs to start supervising them. He's got plenty of resources in the bank to do it. We're right on board with Louis. We can see that there's not a whole lot of line of sight. Doesn't really know what's behind these walls. It could be anything. It could be 14 Nest of Bees. It could be 14 Horsemen. And indeed, it's going to be Horsemen. It's going to be Spearmen. And they begin moving out. Beginning to focus down each of the archers. We hear relics getting picked up behind it. A beautiful mass, a trash mass coming out right now for Casper. Looking to try and take control in this early Castle Age period. The Horsemen looking very solid, but great job by Louis to get those screens in. He's doing a really nice job of screening. Honestly, wonderful micro there from Louis. Good job focusing down the Spearmen as well. Spearmen do eventually get connection, but Louis' micro has been absolutely on point. The Horsemen just going to go down, get completely shredded. Remember, the numbers might have looked good for Casper, but at the end of the day, Louis got those Knights. And those Knights are going to be more cost efficient. Keep in mind, they've also got those Royal Bloodlines there. It makes them so much harder to kill. For things like the Spearmen, especially the Horsemen, very, very difficult for them to kill. Looks like this wall did eventually get fixed up. Casper going to be holding on to that onion strong. Now, the other option for Casper in this position is, instead of going in for Horsemen, he can go in for Palace Guards. It's a bit harder composition to play, but ideally you want to be leading with your Nest of Bees. Go Spearmen, Palace Guards, Nest of Bees, and nice little skewer right there. Spearman still getting taken out, and we can just hear the production behind this. I'm sure in the base of Louis, he's going to have so much production, and he's got to keep back here. And keep 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 production facilities. Reduced costs coming through. Louis MT's French is absolutely next level. I'm going to say it right now. You think MarineLorD's the best French player in the world? I reckon this guy might give him a decent run for his money. This is impressive stuff. Not only is he incredibly high ranked on the ladder, but his French in particular is insanely good. This is just amazing the way that he's playing. Really utilizing all the bonuses from the civilization. 4 town centers off the back of it. Beautiful screens coming in. Royal Institute as well with those Royal Bloodline upgrades. And now the Spearman, it's not even going to matter. He's got enough archers here just to focus down those Spearmen and does so very well. Taking out 2 at a time there. Louis just overwhelming Casper at this point in time. Crushing him completely. And now Casper, he's going to have to head back to the drawing board. He's down about 20 villagers at the moment, which ain't bad considering he's down 2 TCs. But still, the landmarks begin to burn, and with that, the Imperial Palace is going to be going down shortly. We'll ride on board with Casper and see what he finds, just because he is in dire trouble at this point in time. Sacred Side number 1 being captured. Sacred Side number 2 captured already. And Sacred Side number 3 in the north of the map, about to be captured shortly. 3 relics went over to Louis. 1 relic going over to Casper. Casper has no idea where that last relic is. Neither does Louis. They've got no idea. Yet to spot that part of the map. And now we can see exactly why this is a hard matchup for the Chinese. Dealing with these Royal Knights is very difficult. Very, very difficult. Early stages of Castle Age, you can look to fight with Horsemen, Spearmen, but you got to try and transition out of it. You got to try and get a bit more crossbows in there. You got to try and get a bit more knights yourself in there. But it's so hard going up against the veteran Royal Knight. Oh my lord, Louis drops down the forward keep. I'm saying it right now. I'm loving it. I'm loving this style from Louis. This is exactly it. Huge economic lead coming out Massive military lead. The Royal Knights pumping out. This is the perfect French game. This is the perfect French game. And we see a bit of a base race coming in. I say it's a base race, but they're racing to build bases. We got Louis MT with a huge amount of villagers right now, looking to put it up. Hopefully Lord Doubt does not smile upon him. Casper pulling even more villagers, but I think at this point it's not even going to matter. Even if you bring all the villagers here, the keep still gets up. He's trying to hold on for dear life. A couple of villagers jumping inside the Barbican as well. The keep gets up. Villagers jumping inside it, but it's not going to matter. If this red palace gets up, everything is going to go down. This unit does not mess around. This building does not mess around. We're heading into the cinematic mode because it is about to come up. He's trying his hardest. He's trying his hardest. Lord Doubt smiles upon him. The keep, the red palace, does it get up? The final foundations, a single villager. It doesn't get up, and it's all right. He's going to have more. He's surely going to have more. Where are the rest of the villagers? Where are the rest of the villagers? Right now, Casper needs to pull everything and start sieging this down. He gets the re-wall up. Oh no, Louis in trouble. Louis in trouble. He might lose the entire resources that he was going to from this landmark. This is terrible right now, and you can see the villagers at the front. They're going to be trying their best to get through. It gets cancelled. He falls back. Another keep comes down, and Casper looks to push out. Beautiful play right now from Casper as he continues pushing back the French advantage. He says, you want to go Imperial? Not on my watch, mate. You want to take my base? Not on my watch. And Casper looking incredible as he begins moving across the map, cutting that villager lead in half right now. Let's take a look and see exactly how much his opponent is ahead. 141 versus 133. Not too bad. Red Palace coming in somewhere else on the map. Up to the north, no. Down to the south, no. Where is it? Where is that Red Palace? Where does he go? Oh, look at this. Look at this. Louis MT walks away with his tail in between his legs. Things have gone bad for Louis MT. What a beautiful read by Casper to get that re-wall up. I wouldn't have gone for the re-wall. I would have been like, I got to siege down the Red Palace. I got to get it down. What does he do? He re-walls. So smart. So smart. Beautifully played by Casper to do that. But now the Imperial Age has come through for Louis. He's got a huge economy behind this. Keep in mind, he's pumping out knights non-stop. Gambeson's also going to be coming in here. This is going to be increasing the melee armor of Arbalatriers by 5. It's huge. We also see Tithe Barns and Elite Royal Knights coming in. So Louis MT is really starting to knuckle down. And I mean, his name right now, it's currently, it's Big Smart. That's what his name means. And I got to say, he's Big Smart. This play, Lord Doubt was smiling. Let's just say that much. I don't know how big his smart was. But I sense there might be trouble in the Casvan Paradise because, well, he's got a pretty big eco at the moment. The main issue he's got is production, right? He's sitting on 12 military units, and when this wall goes down, look at Casper's keeps. My lord, Casper's dropped a lot of keeps. That's the 4th keep that's going to be going down here for Casper, and I'm loving this play. It's a really smart move. Is it going to get up fast enough? That's going to be the question. Louis breaks the wall, yet doesn't break in. Elite Knights is through. Elite Royal Knights. You can tell they're elite because of their golden helmet. And now up towards the north, Casper begins to neutralize the sacred site. Villagers moving onto the sacred site just to hold the neutralization a little bit longer. Another keep going to be going up. It's going to be from Louis. At the same time, breaking in towards the base. The keep has gone up. Plenty of spearmen here. Lance is looking to try and deal with it as well. He's going to be diving underneath the keep. Villagers have jumped inside. Going to be providing a little bit of extra arrow coverage here. Behind this, we also see crossbow stirrups coming in. Going to increase that attack speed coming out from the Arbalatrier. And now on the north side, the attempt at neutralizing that sacred site might be successful. The wolf isn't going to count for it, but the knight gets on the site, and it's so damn close. Casper tries to decap, not going to find it. Back in the base, we've still got all of those villagers safely behind the walls. I say safely, but hold your horses. That is an open back of the base, but look at the villagers he's got here. Look at the farms he's got here. How many farms are we talking right now? We're talking a lot of farms. That's 52 farms, and that isn't even my final form. 53, baby. That was that last little one over here. Look at the distance this bad boy's got to walk. Indeed, it's not even a bad boy, it's a bad girl. Age 4 comes through. Casper now in the Imperial Age. What direction did he look to go? He went for the Spirit Way, a great way to open up for this early Imperial stage. But the problem that we've got, and this is what I talked about earlier, is that the lead that the French player has built over the course of the game is going to enable them to leverage their power in the late game. Normally, they're not looked at as this super late game powerhouse civ. And that's quite normal, but they're a very strong early game civ. So if you can get a good lead early, then you can convert that into a lead late. And that's what allows you to go up against the Chinese in the late game. But we see, it looks like it's going to be a couple of lancers heading down towards his south side. If Louis is smart, he'll move villagers out here straight away. Just sack them if he doesn't think he can get down there in time. But we do see knights moving down there. The question's going to be whether they can get there in time. More knights going to be coming through. Casper going to be attempting to try and take this sacred side. A knight moving up towards the north. Let's see if he's able to do it. And he's trying his best. Not going to find it, though. Another keep going down on the sacred site, and indeed, Louis holds on a little bit longer. Less than 7 minutes to go for this sacred victory. Casper still yet to find a way to decap this sacred site, and it's going to return back to its normal direction. Elite Spearman now coming through for Casper. Pumping out plenty of units here. Up towards the north, you can see that large gold vein. This is what we were talking about before, you know. Getting control of the map is so key in this matchup for the French player, and that's exactly what Louis tried to do, but Casper's been able to deny it. We talked about this large gold vein. This is that large gold vein that is so important for Casper. If he loses this gold vein, he's got nothing going for him at all. Yeah, sure, he's got a little bit of gold down here. He's got a little bit of gold down here. He's got 18 gold here. He's got 3k gold on that one. It's not a whole lot, but we've got counterattacks coming out. Spearmen moving across the map, looking to try and neutralize these sacred sites. At the same time, though, Royal Knights just going to be going toe-to-toe with them. They say, you know what? I don't even really mind taking you on. And we can see they're just going to absolutely whoop their butts. Arbilatria coming out, and they're going to be able to deny the villagers here getting this keep up. Doubtful, indeed, that it gets up. Lord Dow going to be smiling upon. You know what? It's not even going to get up at all. He's not even going to be able to drop that bad boy down. Little bit of a horseman raid around the side, and we do see here the Yuan dynasty has come through. Casper throws away a handful of villagers there. More spearmen moving across the map, looking to try and hit this southern site. We can see plenty of stables down here, and walls starting to come up for Louis MT on the front of the base. He's walled up everything on that south side of his main base, and villagers going to be heading for a run, running for their lives right now. Upgrades coming through, incendiary arrows coming through for Louis MT. He's looking to really hit that late game power spike for the French. That's going to be key here. And now another keep under pressure at the front. There's a treb somewhere, some way, firing down upon this position. Oh my lord, where did these trebs come from? I'm going to need an explanation, because these trebs, well, they're going to need a lifeline. Villagers, can they provide the lifeline? Can they? They cannot. Next treb coming right up. More units moving out towards this front position. Arbilatria just eating up everything here. And do we see Casper move into some sort of siege? We did hear Yuan Dynasty coming in earlier. I'd love to see him move into siege. That's typically where the Chinese are going to excel. And especially noting that his enemy went for a Red Palace rather than going for a Royal College of Artillery. That is a big factor. But behind this, we also see it's going to be elite fire lancers coming in for Casper. Is this going to be the way that he gets back into this game? When it comes to score, he's down by about 1,000 points, but I think at this point, it doesn't even matter. And another keep coming up for Casper. It is keep wars right now. The castle drops are happening non-stop. It's been insane this game, the amount of keeps that have come through, and Louis French has just been no joke. Like, it is incredible the amount of keeps that we've got here. One keep on the south. I feel like I'm going to be, who's the doctor that counts? One Dracula. 1, 2. And then there's a lot more up here. I can assure you. 3, 4, 5. And plenty more. And look at this. Look at these cute little walls that we've got coming up. We've got the onion beginning to build. Stone walls all the way to the north. I don't even think that's up against the edge of the map, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. If he's putting them in, he's one of the best players in the world. I'm sure he's correct. Chemistry also coming in. We do see cannon emplacements coming through on these keeps. I'm not sure exactly which ones are coming in, but the Trebs still managing to stay alive. Bombard's going to be joining the field finally. Second Bombard rolling out. And Casper's got to be a bit careful here. This is where he needs more military. He's got 160 economic units, and that's great. But at the end of the day, the main focus that he's going to need is to protect these Bombards. He's got plenty of fire lancers, but the Knights are going to be able to go in unchallenged. Fortunately, the Spearmen are here, looking to try and hold it on. He needs to pull villagers. Pull the villagers, Casper. Get those villagers out here. You need to repair these Bombards immediately. He does. He brings them out. Second Knight now going to be looking to attack it down. A lot of resources here, trying to get behind. Blocks it. He blocks the Bombard. He blocks the Bombard. He's permanently stuck right here, but fortunately, the Spearmen are here to save it the day. And what a beautiful position coming out. But at the same time, we see this keep is under pressure. This keep may be going down. A single trebuchet boulder will do it. Oh my lord, it's so close. A second one comes in, and indeed it goes down. Casper, not enough stone to throw down an additional keep. Sacred victory 3 minutes away. Casper deletes a whole bunch of villagers. He says, I don't need this many villagers. He deletes like 50 villagers. He says, get out of here, villagers. I need to make more units. And Casper continues pushing up to the front. Spirit Wave bonus going to be applying right now as the Spearmen, together with the Fire Lancers, try and find a way in onto the back line. Indeed, they shall. There are plenty of hand cannoneers, though, here for Louis MT, but the numbers are just too small. He needs more siege. He needs something to help himself. But you can see the lead right now that Louis built is insane. It's so strong. And the Royal Knights continue just to fight up on the front line against the Spearmen. It's not even going to be close. Arbilatria on the backside. The Trebs keep moving in. And Casper, he's going to have to fall behind the Palisades. The last Bombard could have gone down right there, but Louis allows it to live. He says, you know what? I'll give you a chance. You can keep your bombard for now, friend. But still, we see these units. Casper yet to build up a solid response here, and this is the difficult spot. Please tell me, Casper, you've got your upgrades. I don't actually know if we can check. He's got all of his upgrades. Wonderful. Really good job here, but the main thing is he just doesn't have enough farms. You know, I often talk about this. I say I play games as China where I've got 75 farms and I still don't have enough villages on food. Casper's got 76 villages on food right now, and he still doesn't have enough. He's pumping out fire lancers, but he needs to just be making units. He needs production. How much production does he even have right now? It looks like plenty. We need to see spearmen. We need to see fire lancers. We need to see horsemen. Just another thing to remember. Well, that's 2 minutes till defeat. One thing to remember, don't ever fall into the trap of thinking that your palace, or rather your fire lancers, are horsemen. They are not. They are completely separate units, and I mean that they also fulfill different roles. One of them is AoE, the other one kills ranged units. Now we see the Fire Lancers come in. It could be big damage, just as we were talking about it. Big connections coming in. Fire Lancers going to find plenty of units on the backside, but remember, they don't have that bonus against ranged units, so they're going to struggle here. They're going to slowly dish out damage, but it's not going to be enough. Bombard makes its way out as well. He's attempting to take down the Sacred Site on the south side. Keep in mind, 3 Sacred Sites here, all kept up with Kardashians. It's finally time that we throw that out, but another keep moving forward from Casper. 121 villages right now. How many is he willing to throw away on this front line? Stone wall yet to come up. More hand cannoneers coming through. The keep looks like it is going to get down this point in time. There's about 27 vills, so that's plenty of villages. He needs to hold the Sacred Site, though. He needs to keep a unit on the Sacred Site. He's letting it restore, and it's going to go back up to maximum right here. And we can see that Casper trying his best to push through. He's going to have a tough time now. More villagers coming forward. Casper really looking to finish off this game, but 1 more minute to go. Sacred victory is approaching. We enter into the cinematic mode because it is the time right now. This could be it. Any second, Casper could be getting taken out, and we see Insufficient Stone comes in. He's trying his best to repair this bad boy up, but the 3 traps in the north side are going to have something to say about it, that is for sure. And still, those Royal Knights continue to flood in. Casper never got a chance. He did not catch a break. He tried multiple times to cap those Sacred Sites, but never did he get the chance to actually pull it off. He had another chance down here, but he didn't stand on the Sacred Site. Now his enemies got overwhelming numbers, overwhelming units, overwhelming map control, a huge score lead, a massive tech lead, and this is it. Casper's got no chance unless he's got a sneaky little Fire Lancer snipe coming in from somewhere from left field, and you know, good luck doing that against something like the Red Palace, by the way. This is going to be it. There's no way that he pushes into this. There is absolutely no way. It's impossible. There's too many units, and good game gets called. Louis MT, once again demonstrating why he has got the biggest brain on this server. Fellas, if you've enjoyed this game, make sure you go check out Casper. I'll leave a link in the description. I'll catch you guys in the next one, but whew, what a brain. What a big smarty we've got right there.